Caroline Weber, Queen of Fashion, What Marie Antoinette Wore to the Revolution. In the captivating book, Queen of Fashion, What Marie Antoinette Wore to the Revolution, author Caroline Weber explores the fascinating life of Marie Antoinette and her influence on fashion during the tumultuous period leading up to the French Revolution. Witness the transformation of a carefree Austrian princess, thrust into a world of strict codes of conduct, stringent etiquette, and the expectations that come with being a Bourbon queen. Discover how Marie Antoinette pushed the boundaries of fashion, defying norms, and becoming a beloved icon, only to be shunned by the very public that idolized her.
Marie Antoinette's transformation. Born as a carefree Austrian princess, Marie Antoinette experienced a major shift in her life when she became the wife of the future French king, Louis XVI. With this new title, she underwent extensive changes in her appearance, behavior, and wardrobe to fit into the French court. Her marriage, though not for love, was a political maneuver designed to strengthen relations between France and Austria, despite opposition from her husband's own family. Marie Antoinette's transformation was a crucial part of this alliance, as she learned to embody the role of a Bourbon princess. Marie Antoinette enjoyed a relatively relaxed childhood in 18th-century Vienna. However, at the age of 15, her life took a drastic turn when she was betrothed to Louis Auguste, heir to the French throne. To transition from Austrian royalty to a Bourbon princess, young Marie had to adapt to the strict and complex etiquette of the French court. The extensive makeover she underwent was not easy. For instance, Marie had her teeth straightened and learned the Versailles glide, a distinctive way of walking that was specific to French royalty. Alongside these changes, her Austrian wardrobe was replaced at a significant cost by elegant French attire, bought with what would be equivalent to approximately $2 to $3 million modern-day dollars. Underlying this transformation was the knowledge that her marriage carried significant political weight. The union between Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI aimed to reinforce peace between France and Austria, two nations whose tumultuous past had been somewhat quieted by the 1756 Treaty of Paris. Despite this diplomatic effort, Louis XV's mistress, Madame du Barry, and his sisters, Mesdames Adelaide, Sophie, and Victoire, remained skeptical of Austria and disapproved of Marie Antoinette's emergence as the French queen. Undoubtedly, her metamorphosis into a Bourbon princess played a crucial role in the success of this politically driven union, representing a monumental change in her life and the course of history. Mastering Versailles intricacies. Versailles was a world of carefully planned actions, where every gesture of the royal family appeared sacred. Attendants, often high-ranking nobles, turned trivial activities into revered rituals. The queen had a specific role, primarily focused on bearing heirs. Maria Leszczyńska, Marie Antoinette's predecessor, adhered to these rules and gained great respect. However, Marie Antoinette faced challenges in fulfilling her duty, as her husband, Louis Auguste, showed little interest in his responsibilities, and their unconsummated marriage fueled palace gossip. Upon entering Versailles, Marie Antoinette found herself in a realm where her every action was dictated by custom. Louis XV maintained a flawless royal image by implementing strict protocols for the court, intending to keep the royal family sacred in the eyes of their observers. At Versailles, even mundane tasks were transformed into significant rituals through the involvement of attendants, who were often high-ranking nobles proud to serve in their roles. The queen's purpose was predominantly to produce heirs, and she was expected to remain uninvolved in other affairs. Maria Leszczyńska, Marie Antoinette's grandmother-in-law, perfectly played the role of queen by adhering to the established norms and was rewarded with esteemed status. However, Marie Antoinette struggled in her obligation to provide a royal heir. Her husband, Louis Auguste, was an unwilling and uninterested king, and the couple's unconsummated marriage became a source of widespread speculation and gossip, ultimately tarnishing her reputation within the palace walls. Marie Antoinette's fashion rebellion. Marie Antoinette, weary of the rigidity of Versailles, began defying the royal court by exploring a newfound freedom. She ventured into Paris, blending in with the masses and enjoying events with everyday people. Scandalous rumors about her escapades circulated, mingling with awe at her groundbreaking fashion choices that forever changed the public perception of what a queen's image should be. She not only championed the poof hairstyle, but made political statements through fashion. As a result, Marie Antoinette's bold choices sparked the onset of modern fashion magazine industry, proving a queen could assert her own ideas and desires. Marie Antoinette, Unraveling Myths. Public opinion of Marie Antoinette shifted during the economic downturn in the 1770s, as her extravagance became a focal point for blame. While the economic troubles were largely due to France's investment in the American Revolutionary War, her lavish attire and her iconic high poof did not help her reputation. Even her well-known quote, "Let them eat cake," is likely falsely attributed to her, stemming from the flour wars, sparked by grain shortages. The Queen's once admired sense of fashion now appeared disrespectful, marking a turning point in her ill-fated life. Before long, admiration for Marie Antoinette's lavish lifestyle gradually waned, as the difficult economic times in the late 1770s became a source of resentment. Onlookers mistakenly blamed her spending for the economic woes. In reality, the real culprit was France's financial involvement in the American Revolutionary War. Despite this, Marie's indulgent behavior and unapologetically extravagant fashion choices only served to fuel the negative perception of her in that context. This distaste for the Queen peaked during her husband Louis XVI's coronation celebration, where Marie's tantalizing gown and extravagant accessories caused an unintentional scandal. Her towering hair poof was both a focal point for ridicule and a commentary on how she seemed to overshadow her husband's power. As far-fetched rumors spread about making adjustments to Versailles for her hair, unfortunate incidents like women getting burned from their poofs catching chandelier fires didn't help. In 1775, right after the coronation, the flour wars broke out, driven by grain shortages that left the population hungry and discontented. The Queen's use of flour in her hair powder, though unrelated to the crisis, became another point of public ire, as people stormed the gates of Versailles in protest. Her renowned hairstyle now symbolized the depletion of resources that the starving French people desperately needed. This context likely gave rise to the infamous and likely misattributed quote, "Let them eat cake." The once celebrated royal fashions now became symbols of waste and disregard for the needy population, signifying a drastic transformation in public perception of Marie Antoinette. Marie's sanctuary, Petit Trianon. In the late 1770s, searching for an escape from a disapproving public, Marie Antoinette established her private retreat, Petit Trianon, away from the watchful eyes of Versailles. There, she abandoned the formalities of court life and established her own rules, which even included setting groundbreaking fashion trends like the gall. This rule-breaking behavior drew criticism, as many saw it as undermining the king's authority. When Marie posed in the gall for a portrait, the public deemed it scandalous, further damaging her reputation and contributing to her eventual downfall. By the late 1770s, Marie Antoinette sought refuge from the growing disdain of the French public. She found solace in Petit Trianon, a private sanctuary far from the pomp and scrutiny of Versailles. Here, Marie shed the stifling ceremonial attire and intricate rituals of court life, replacing them with her own set of rules. As the queen of her domain, Marie Antoinette issued decrees on everything from gardening to party guest lists. Traditionally, such commands would come from the king, but at Petit Trianon, the queen reigned supreme. Marie's disregard for tradition stirred controversy, as many perceived her actions as an affront to the king's authority. Petit Trianon also provided Marie with an opportunity to indulge in her love for fashion. Unrestrained by court expectations, she introduced the gall, also known as chemise à la reine, which was deemed by some as scandalously masculine. This simple, sashed dress of draped muslin provided comfort and freedom of movement, ideal for the queen's idyllic garden parties and picnics with her friends. Marie Antoinette's fondness for the gall was so great, she chose to wear it in a portrait crafted by Elizabeth Vigée-Lebrun in 1783. When the painting was displayed in the Louvre, the public reaction was one of shock and dismay. The casual attire and absence of royal adornments led people to perceive the portrait as Marie Antoinette in her undergarments, further reinforcing the belief she was unworthy of respect. Though the scandalous portrait was eventually replaced with a more conventional one, the damage to Marie Antoinette's image proved irreversible. Her rule-breaking escapades at Petit Trianon only served to further alienate her from the public and hasten her inevitable downfall. Mysterious Queen of Fashion. Marie Antoinette's extravagant fashion choices, and their far-reaching societal impact, fueled the public's resentment toward her. Astonishingly, even when they criticized her, people couldn't resist imitating her style, as evident in the widespread copying of her gaulle dress by everyone from royalty to common folk. However, as the French Revolution approached, the Queen's fondness for foreign fabrics led to massive job losses in the French silk industry, making her a prime symbol for the disliked monarchy. Despite adopting a more conservative and traditional style in her final years, the public never forgave her and ultimately labeled her an enemy of France. In a bold final act, Marie Antoinette continued to make a statement with her fashion by wearing a hidden white gown symbolizing the Bourbon Empire as she walked toward the guillotine.
Marie Antoinette's story is one of inspiration, rebellion, and a tragic downfall. She defied societal expectations and dared to break free from the rigid constraints of the French royal court, unleashing a new era of fashion that still resonates today. Nevertheless, her disregard for protocol and extravagant lifestyle turned the public against her, fueling resentment and political unrest. In the end, she tried to conform to traditional norms as the French Revolution erupted, but her fate was sealed. Her life would end on the guillotine. Queen of Fashion is a captivating tale of a woman who revolutionized fashion, but ultimately paid a high price for her defiance.